Hey guys, okay, the purpose of this video is really to document my journey and to do it in a video vlogs fashion. And I kind of want to tell you where I am and hopefully allow this video to be a blessing for me for the future. Because of course we don't know the future, and what we're doing now, we're doing a project, we're embarking on a project of giving 25% of our income to the Lord. And that means we're just really trusting in the Lord. And the purpose of this video for me is to really video blog. For me is to just be encouraged and have my faith be continue to be built up. So let you know where we stand right now. We finally have been able to go to Northern Virginia, and the time now is going to be September, one day before Labor Day, September 2020. Okay, and where we stand financially is I've got about $24,000 in debt, and my wife probably has $2,000 in debt. I try to pay off my wife's credit cards and stuff like that first. And we're doing real estate here in Northern Virginia. Our monthly rent is about $1,400 or $1,500. Okay, so we do have a closing tomorrow, which is going to be good. But that closing is, we're going to make about $7,000, which sounds wonderful. But I think we're going to pay, giving $1,000 to our clients, and then another $2,500. No, another 25% is going to go to the Lord, which is probably going to make it like we have $5,000 left. Now, of course, $3,000 of that we're going to try to hold for rent, so for 2 months of rent to survive. The other $2,000, we're going to try to pay off some of the credit cards and things of that nature. So I'm at the point where, for myself, I'm not able to get any my debt to income ratio, or my debt ratio is so high, it's close to 90%, or over 90%, that no other companies want to give me any money. So I didn't realize that ahead of time. I should have tried to get more credit card when I had less debt. So definitely, if I have, when I get 50%, I'll try to ask for more, or even ask, maybe now is a good time to have my wife try to get more credit card. That's probably a good option for her to do, increase her credit, to expand that. So where we stand is, and one of the reasons why is because I'm kind of nervous, and I losing my faith, and I want to be able to build my faith. So one of the things I ask God is to really help increase my faith. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I just recently got rid of a client. And the client that I got rid of, released, was he was the first client I had that really was abusive and very he was in the U.S. military, and he's working for the U.S. government, and just the way he goes about it to me, he's harassing me. And just to explain, he really wants to, almost every step of the way, he doesn't really trust what I'm saying, and I have to try to prove to him and show him this correct. And for example, the asking price right now, this is a seller's market, so there's a house, and he said the asking price was $320,000. So he said, okay, I'm going to place an offer for $311,000. But the other real estate agent says she already has an offer for over $20,000 more than the current price, so $340,000. So he says, well, I need to do everything I need to possibly can to harass them and bring them, get the price lower than that, than the three, than that price. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not able to do that. And so he just, putting all this time pressure on me to do this. And if I can't, then he's going to go and go to another agent. So listen, I really need that. The commission on another sale would be another $7,000, would be very helpful to pay off my bills, my debt. So I really want to work with him. But the feeling I get when I work with him is just so, and puts me in a negative space, a negative zone, a negative energy, negative flow. I just really don't want to have that feeling. And I don't want to be that way, So I make the decision to say, hey, listen, I want you to go ahead and work with another agent. And I'm really worried about that decision because, God has given us some fruit to eat. And I'm eating that fruit, or trying to eat the fruit. But then when I eat the fruit, it's bitter. But I know if I can consume the fruit, even though it's going to be bitter for my stomach, it will give me energy, ultimately. But at the same time, if the fruit is too bitter to eat, I might have to spit it out. And that's one of the things I've kind of found in my life. We can evaluate how much stress you're willing to take. I mean, I know stress can really kill us. So I know it's giving me this much stress. And no matter how much I want to eat this, I'm getting so stressed out. So as a result, I just made the administrative decision to say, hey, listen, I don't think this is not really where I believe. I'm not able to serve you the best. I tried and I tried and I tried, but the harassment just increases. The stress increases. So this is not a situation I think is good for me. So I just said, I'm sorry. And I let him go. So I tried to do my best, and you're not happy. And this is I told him about the market condition. I said, there's more sellers for the houses than there are buyers. And he said, my explanation was trash. So I just need to do it. Just make them pay less. Make them accept less than the asking price. And I'm like, well, even when I sell a house, I always kind of price it lower to get more action and activity. And then you ask them to lower that. It doesn't work like that. And he's like, oh, don't tell me how it works. Like, this is what I want, and you do it. And I'm like, well, I'm doing my best, so I think that we need to part ways. And I just have to evaluate the stress versus something else. That I don't think that this is what God wants me to do. I really, deep down in my heart, that's not the right thing. So where do I stand? The good thing is, I did find another client. He was, I think it was a $1.5 million property. And something like that. He showed him 2 houses and built up a relationship with him. And he might buy one. And now, if he does buy one of his houses at $2.5 million, the commission there, because it's usually 2.5%, the commission there would be close to $30,000. If that would happen, that would almost, we're gonna give 25% to the Lord, which would be great, and the rest, I'll try to pay off my credit card. And I don't know if I could pay off my credit card with the other $20,000. Oh well, my debt is $24,000, so maybe it might just cover all my credit card, because, right? Yeah, I think 7,500 what we give to the Lord, 25%. And so what is left is about 23. That would be exactly enough to cover my credit card. 23,500, something like that, just right there. And that would be a blessing from God to just really say, hey, here, I see your credit card, and we see that you have on there, boom, it's paid. And I'd be like, wow. And that's even after giving to the Lord. So if I could do that, if I'm in that space, the way it would be is the way it would be is, I mean, it's just exciting to really think about it, So if I would be able to do that, then I would be at zero. My wife would be almost close to zero or $2,000 for her bills. I think that might be like we would have zero debt now. And if we have zero debt, I can be able to push up to 26%, giving to 26%. That's something that I wanted to do. I wanted to try to give 26%. I told my wife, hey, listen, we cannot give more until we can pay off our debt, our credit card debt. And we don't have any car debt. Luckily, we've got 2 cars, and they're completely paid off. That's just amazing. And then we'll be free. But the only problem is, excuse me. Wow. Sorry about that. The only problem is that he's not really responding yet. It was yesterday, and one thing about myself is I just get so anxious, and so I want it to happen now. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait for anything. So basically, I want the answer right away. And that's something that hurts me in faith. I mean, one of the reasons why I'm basing what I'm doing on is when I was with Chantel Ray, and when I was with Chantel Ray, she mentioned how she was giving, started to give tithing, and as she was giving her tithe, which was 10%, then she started to see an increase in, like, literally, she said that almost all these people, well, first of all, she gave tithe, and then I think her aunt paid 10%, paid off her credit card of $10,000. That was good. And then after that, she started to, just people to start to refer herself, and she became like the best agent within the first year. And I'm like, that's awesome. But right now, I'm giving, but I'm not the best agent. I'm not the number 1 agent. And we're giving, and things are slowly turning, very, very slow. And that is really frustrating to me. And I'm giving more than 10%. We're giving 25%. So it's just really trying to process in my mind and having faith. But one thing I am happy about, and one thing that is good, is that we did get a chance to move from my parents' house and move here in Northern Virginia, which was kind of hard because when I was working with Chantel Ray, actually, I worked with her in Virginia Beach. I worked as hard as I could, and I was still giving, but we weren't really making very much money. and the income working there was just very low. I mean, because I had a lot of fees. So number one, they were not giving me clients that were good because I was just starting out. So they're giving me people who are like less than $100,000. But if they were $100,000, okay, then the commission on that, if they were $100,000, the commission would be down there is 3%. So that's $3,000. But then I would have to split that with my mentor and the office manager. That would be 50%. So $1,500. And then if it was a referral, well, actually, maybe, yeah, if it was a referral, then another 40% or 35%, something like that. So at the end of the day, I'd only make about $750. And if the client said, hey, listen, they're not going to pay the $400 fee that Chantilly charges, then I don't have to pay for it. And so I even had a situation where I had to come out of the pocket with the money after I did all this work. So literally at the end of the day, I could make, I don't know, $700 or less. But usually the contracts I had were $77,000 and $50,000. It was just really, really horrific. So I just said to myself, you know, and then there's no 100% commission companies over there in Southern Virginia. So I just said to myself, being in Southern Virginia is just eating me up because I'm just doing all this effort and all this work. And if I did the same amount of effort and the same amount of work in another area inside of Virginia, I could make like 10 times as much. So I said, this makes no sense. So I ought to leave. But to come up to Northern Virginia, the cost to live is so expensive. And I really didn't, I mean, you need to have enough money for down payment. And for this place, it's $1,500 a month. So you need to have 1 month for the down payment and then 1 month for rent. So you need at least $3,000 just to come in. And unfortunately, even though I closed 4 to 5 deals down there, I don't think I had that much money to $3,000 to come here. So I had to pull money from Korea. I had to pull some money from some of our savings. We scrounged and came here with almost no money. And no money left. Barely enough to cover the rent. And then, of course, coronavirus came after that, which is quite stressful. I mean, we finally came here, and I was finally starting to work with a company, making calls and doing these and things, and then all of a sudden, coronavirus hit, and just automatically, I started going downhill. Imagine the stress in that, not being able to have enough money or worried about this. I talked to the landlord about this, and she said, I said, hey, listen, coronavirus happened, and I don't really have a job anymore. And she was like, well, you still gotta pay rent. And I don't know how much. She said, well, at least pay $1,000. I'm thinking to myself, I can't pay anything. And I feel really bad because of like, well, we're living in your house, we can't pay you, I'm feeling bad, and what are we gonna do? And then I lost my job because what I was doing when I first came up here, because I'm trying to build relationships up here is really difficult, or at least rebuilding relationships is difficult. So I wanted to work with the company, and I was working as a just person who calls people using the for real estate inside sales agent. Tried to work with the inside sales agent, it was good, but then coronavirus happened and like, poof. But the good thing is, with the real estate license, you do have the option to work for Redfin or other companies like that, but they're not down there in Virginia Beach. They're up here, and so luckily I was able to hustle. and I still have the ability to be able to hustle here if I wanted to, which is a good thing, which is going to be able to help us in case. And I actually applied to NACA. NACA is a program where you could it's a really nice loan program, like the best in the industry. You pay zero closing cost. So I signed up to work with NACA, and I'm not sure if they'll respond to me or not, but I did apply, and looking forward to their response and looking forward to their answer. So other than that, this is what I stand, where we stand. Stressed a little bit, stressed a lot, not knowing the future, not knowing what's going to happen. Stressed for that reason. But hopeful that we have opportunity coming up. And it was really good to share a little bit about what's going on and tell you about the Who situation and kind of letting him go. And who knows what will happen now. I'm very hopeful that everything's going to be okay. At least in the immediate, at least for another month. If everything stays the same, we should be okay for about a month, and maybe even 2 months. But that's if everything stays the same. After 2 months, we don't have anything. So hopefully we're trying to get that next thing, and I hope Who was going to be the next. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say his name, but we hope that our client, the client that gave a lot of harassment and a lot of stress, a lot of frustration, I was hoping that he would be able to, we settle, and that would be another $7,000. Will give us another couple of months, but it's really hard for me because I'm really trying to, in the Bible says, do not worry about what you eat or you drink, because God knows that you need those things. But for some reason, I seem to be stressing out with the max, because I'm worried about making sure I can cover for everybody. But there's opportunity, and I hope to give you guys an update and let you know how everything happens, and on my giving of the 25% journey. And then that's something what I wanted to do. I wanted to start to journey and journal my situation, because I think it's going to be I think it's a good situation. I want to be able to see, if I fall flat on my face by giving 25%, I want to be able to document that. But I don't. Excuse me. I've heard a lot of people say that they've gotten blessed, and I believe it. But I just need to be able to see it, and then maybe this might be able to encourage you, because I don't know. I cannot see the future. I cannot see what will happen tomorrow. I cannot see. I don't know if the client in McLean is going to want to write that $1.5 million contract or not. A lot of times I hear silence. I don't hear any. I mean, maybe I might say tomorrow or the next day, give you an update and say, yeah, they wrote the contract. But you know how many times people ask me to show them a house here and there, and I run out there and I show a house to them, and then they don't answer, they don't respond anymore. I remember there's a time I showed a house. It was about $1 million house. It was on the water, townhouse in Reston. And Reston is far from me, so I drove all the way down there. I think it's about 45 minutes to an hour, all the way to Reston. Got the whole house ready, and house. I think I took a video of it too. And then at the end of the day, I don't hear anything from them. Poof, gone. I ran out there and I showed another person the house, and they seemed so serious, and then all of a sudden, poof, nothing. And this is the way it is when I get a certain type of purchase leads. There's no relationship that has been built. They could just drop me at a dime where they could abuse me, because there's so many realtors out here. So so unfortunately, history has been shown that they may not respond. Sorry, my home is so messy. I think once we can get a little bit more established financially, we can probably try to clean up everything and organize everything. I mean, things are relatively organized. It's just we, we really need to buy more things to keep things more organized and organize it a little bit better. And the good thing is we did get a new couch. And that has been a blessing. Sorry, show my belly. But yeah, we did get a new couch, which is fantastic. We got a new couch. After coming up here in Northern Virginia, we had the coronavirus situation, and then we had the government was helping. And after the government has helped, by the way, we still having not received our stimulus check, but anyway, we're waiting. Then we started to slowly but surely we're working with a client, and I had one client that, by God's grace, we were able to work with them, and they wanted to buy a house, and we sold her a house, and she was like one of the easiest transactions I ever had, and the house was like $450,000, which is great, and we're really thankful to God and all the blessings that being able to get it for. So there's a good thing. Things are working out, but it's stressful, and I want to be able to have this video journal to kind of share with you what's on my mind and how I'm trying to handle the situation. It's really for my personal encouragement, and if other people can be encouraged, that'd be great. So let's see what happens. Okay, bye-bye.